Won't take too long. I'd say it's probably a bream. Oh, kicking back. It's a tench. Happy days. How about that then? I haven't even got the second rod out. First rod's gone off. Got myself a little tench. Nice start. Been fishing about 2 minutes. Welcome to a new video. I am back on the bank, and today you join me out again carp fishing, but I'm doing something a bit different. So I've been looking at the comments recently, and quite a few people have been suggesting to try some match style tactics or feeder fishing for carp, and I thought, you know what, yeah, why not? I'll give it a go. So I had a couple of hours to come out this afternoon, and I thought I'd do it differently, and instead of fishing with my traditional carp style, I will come out with the heavy feeder rods, bring some method mix or some feeder mix out, bit of ground bait, bring out the ground bait feeders and get some maggots, and basically fish in more of a match style and see if we can catch a few carp. Now, I've come to a lake which has got a good head of carp in it, but it's also a mixed fishery, so there's a lot of silvers and a lot of bream, so I'm sure we're going to pick up the odd other fish. Now, I got the rod out very quickly and I had a bite straight away and caught a lovely little tench. So we're already off the mark, but we haven't had a carp. I'm already getting loads of bangs and taps and tugs, so clearly there's a lot of silvers attacking the maggot. So I'm probably gonna have to just keep working the rods, recasting and very active fishing, and hopefully I can build up some feed for the carp to come in on, and maybe when that light starts to drop, the carp will bully the other fish out of the way and we might be able to have a couple. So anyway, let's get on with it. Let's see if we can catch a carp on match style tactics. Is it going to happen? Time to tell. Definitely not the sort of roach I'd be after. We are mainly carping, but I was thinking if there's any decent roach in here I might have a chance, but yeah, that's more like a live bait, that one. Well, I've got a double bite. This one's just gone off with, oh, quite a nice roach, huh? Look at that. That's a much better fish. See if this one's still on. Yeah, I'm going to have a guess this is a little roach as well. Was it bumped off? No, it's bumped off. Well, the bite's relentless. We're getting roach, skimmers, and no carp yet. Right, well, I thought I'd better show you what's on the rig end. So it's very, very simple. I'm using 6-pound main line straight through to a quick change clip, which my open end cage feeder is going on. This is one of the Guru distance style. I really like these because you can actually twist the weight on the bottom and you can actually take it off and you can change it. So you can actually add different weights. I think it's anything from 10 gram to maybe like 50, 60 gram, might even be more than that. But yeah, you can add obviously a decent chunk of weight onto the end without changing the actual size of the feeder, which is really nice. So, you know, if the conditions change, if you get a bit of a wind pickup and you need to go like 10 gram heavier to be able to hit that mark, then you can do so. So yeah, really like these feeders. But yeah, that's just literally attached to a quick change link on the bottom, and I've got a tail rubber on there, which I just push down onto that to cover it up, just to keep it all nice and streamlined. I've then got two what are essentially float beads, which basically allow me to fish a rotary rig. So if you can see, I've got a little swivel on there and that spins around in a rotary fashion, and it's really good because it prevents a lot of tangles. It's a bolt rig, and it also allows the hook bait to sit very close to the actual feed. As you can see, the hook is sat here, which means when that goes out in the bottom, it's general, the zone is going to be within the bite zone of the contents of the feeder. So very nice that. I don't like to use a long hook length on this style rig. I'd even use shorter than that to possibly get quicker bites if the fish were a bit finicky. The hook length is £5, £5 hook length, and then I've got a 14, size 14 barbless on there. That's actually a carp hook, carp style hook, which is obviously a little bit bigger because we're fishing for carp today, and obviously I need a little bit of strength and size there in case we do get anything decent. And I am literally fishing straight onto the hook, maggots. I'm just putting a massive bunch of maggots on there, and then I'm filling that feeder up with a ground bait mix. So my ground bait mix is in here, and I've basically got some of the DNA insect meal. I've also got some of the bug stick mix, and then I've added some of the DNA molasses liquid to that with a bit of water, mixed it all up. I've then got some of the mini Cramix pellets. I've soaked them in some boiling water for about 2 or 3 minutes, drained it off, chucked them in there so they've gone nice and soft and tacky, and then that all mixes together as a nice tacky mix which sticks into the cage feeder. And then all I'm doing is I'm filling up, I'm plugging the bottom and then pouring in some of the old faithful maggots. There's a few casters in here now as well, so I'm filling it up with some maggot and caster in the middle, and then capping it off with another bit of ground bait. So it's basically like a little sandwich in there filled with maggots and casters. So that is the tactic. There are a lot of silvers in here, as I've found out, and I am catching a lot of silvers and a lot of skimmers. But I'm hoping as I build the swim up and as I build up some feed, I'm going to end up picking up some carp. I think what I'm probably going to do is walk around and actually put in a couple of balls of ground bait to try and get a bit more substantial feed there, which hopefully the carp will move in on and we'll have more chance of having one. But yeah, I'm going to just keep recasting regularly, keep these feeders going out little and often, and just build it up over time. And I know we're going to obviously pick off smaller fish, which might get a little bit frustrating, but hopefully in the end the carp might move in and we'll be able to pick a couple of carp off. And it's going to be wicked fun because I'm using my feeder rods today. Now these are my heavy feeder rods, so these are actually for long range feeder fishing or for big river fishing for like barbel and stuff. So they are quite a heavy rod, which actually makes them really, really good for fishing for carp. So they've got loads of power. They're actually rated up to 180 gram, which I think is like 5 or 6 ounces. So obviously when you're fishing on a big river and you want to chuck out a big lead or a big feeder, got plenty of power in the back of them, but they have actually got a really nice sensitive tip, and I'm using them with a quiver tip today, so it's nice and sensitive, and I'm obviously going to be able to get some nice bites on it as well. So anyway, that is what I'm doing. Let's get this rod back out there. I've been talking for way too long. Let's get this back out there and see if we can catch a carp. Right, I'm just walking around to the to this tree. So this is where I'm casting across to, just fishing the far side of this tree. And basically I don't think I'm getting enough bait in to even get any carp in the area. So what I'm going to do is basically just come around here and make up some balls and basically just bore a load of feed in, which hopefully will give the carp something to find. Lovely little rud. Right, well, we've just had a much better bite. We've actually had a run. It's another tench. I've had a carp, but not really the size I was expecting. That is quite literally a match size carp. Well, it's probably smaller than that, to be honest, but it is a carp, so at least we've managed to have one. So we're off the mark with the carp now. Let's see if we can get some a bit bigger. Right, sending it back out to the tree. There we go. Definitely a bit bigger than the average I've been getting lately. It'd be nice if they were all like that, but there's a lot of little ones, and by little ones I mean absolutely tiny. Right, well, I literally chucked that rod out and it hit the bottom, and I've had another slightly better rod, so maybe they've moved in now, which would be nice. That's a cracking rod. That one's getting on towards the pound mark, that. Aha! Oh, nice. Well, it's definitely not big, but we've just had a little bit of a bigger one. So I thought we'd get the main camera out and show you guys, but there we go. That's kind of what we're after, a fish like that. But a lovely condition fish, really nice condition, very clean. So nice stamp of fish, but he's very lively. So let's get him back and see if we can catch another one. The fishing has been busy, to say the least. It's definitely been a bit of a hectic session. Been getting loads of bites. I'm not quite sure what I would have had in terms of weight in like the silvers, but yeah, I've definitely had a fair few pound. I wouldn't be surprised if I had 5 or 6 pound. Maybe not quite that much, but I've definitely had a good amount of silvers, and some of them are small. But the rudd, I've had some really nice rudd. Like I said, probably sort of 3/4 of a pound, maybe a bit bigger than that, up towards the pound mark, but really nice quality rudd. So I've been really happy with that, and I've obviously had a couple of carp. So now, in terms of the carp, I'm surprised I haven't had more. I don't know whether the weather is not really that great today. It's reasonably mild, but there is quite a fresh wind coming across actually into the bank I'm fishing on. Although I'm kind of more on the back of it, it is kind of going into that bank, so it might be that I'd be better off further up the lake, but there were a couple of guys up there when I got here, and because of that I obviously just got into this area. So it looks right though. There's been a few fish rolling, a lot of silver showing, and there's definitely a lot of fish down here, but I just don't think maybe there's not a huge amount of carp maybe in this area at the moment. But I've obviously picked up a couple, and although we're not catching big fish today, we're obviously just trying the tactic of like match style fishing for carp, and just trying to pick up bites really, and just literally fishing for bites with the maggot and just trying to build up the swim. So it is absolute prime time at the moment. So I'm getting a few taps and bangs on the right rod now, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to go off with another rud in a minute. But in terms of the carp, they haven't made as much of an appearance as I thought, but I do think there's a chance within the sort of last half hour or so I could end up picking up one or two before shooting off. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm feeling confident we can have a couple of carp hopefully to finish on, but I'm sure we'll have a few more rudd as well, so we'll see. Oh, here we go. Ugh. Oh, it's come off. Well, the light is going quite quickly now, and I've just redone the rods. I basically had absolute destroyed hook bait, so the maggots have just been blitzed. Clearly the silvers are back on it, which is a bit of a shame, because I don't think the carp have got much of a look, and I don't think there's been a lot of bait out there for the carp, to be honest. I think really I needed to put in a lot of bait, like pellet and mini boilies, to really get the carp on it. And I think it just shows that I've got another bite. Well, I'm back at the van now. The kit is loaded up and it's time to get going. Unfortunately, it didn't end up being as productive as I thought it might be. Only the 2 carp landed on the tactic, and they were both small as well. Didn't get any of the better fish in the lake, but it was good fun and something to try. That's different, you know. We're trying to sort of bring different techniques, different tactics, different species to the channel, just trying loads of different things, and that was something that was mentioned quite a few times. So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go and see if it works. But the conditions were rubbish, to be honest. It wasn't the best day for it, and I just did the best I could. And to be fair, I had loads of bites, loads of silvers, loads of roach and rudd. It was good fun. But yeah, it just didn't really pan out the way I thought it might. I was expecting way more carp, but it was still nice. We had a couple. We didn't blank, obviously, and it was quite an enjoyable few hours fishing, to be honest. But hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and remember to smash the subscribe button. We run competitions every single month. If you're subscribed to the channel, you've got a chance to win, so make sure you do hit that button, because you got your chance of getting your hands on some goodies. And also we've got some wicked content coming up. Hugh went out and did a carp session, caught some nice fish and had a bit of a result on an overnighter, and I went out roach fishing and caught a monster roach. PB, that was my intention. I went specifically to target them and caught an absolute banging fish, so that will be coming up shortly soon as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Anyway, that is time to go home, so if you're getting out, be lucky, enjoy your fishing, and I'll see you next time for another upload. Until then, get out there and enjoy it.